healthy, to keep our minds sharp, to be able to give an answer for the reason, for the hope that we have. The problem is our society looks at faith in a very negative light. It has almost changed the definition of faith from what the Bible is actually describing. Does anybody know the movie Miracle on 24th Street? Have you seen the old one, the old black and white Christmas film? In it, there's a particular scene where they sort of articulate the definition of faith.
Nice old man with whiskers, like my mother said, and I shouldn't have believed you.
I was wrong when I told you that, Susie. You must believe in Mr. Kringle and keep right on doing it. You must have faith in him.
But he didn't get me that doesn't make sense, Mommy.
Faith is believing in things when common sense tells you not to.
Huh?
Faith is believing in things when common sense tells you not to. The problem is, that is not the definition of faith. It's an oft-repeated definition of faith, but it's not what the Bible describes. In fact, it's propagated by individuals like this guy, the evolutionary biologist and former professor of sciences at Oxford University, Richard Dawkins. He says, faith is persistent false belief held in face of strong contradictory evidence. But the problem is, Dawkins has got it wrong. You see, the idea is this. In the culture, there's this idea that we have faith on one side, and faith is simply, it's wishful thinking. And then on the other side of the divide, you have facts. And facts, well, that's rational thinking. And nary do the two meet. You know, those religious people, you know, they have faith. They believe in spite of the evidence. They believe when the evidence tells them not to. And, you know, us rational thinkers, the atheists and the agnostics, you know, we're the ones who are actually using our mind. The problem is, that is not how the Bible talks about faith. Not at all. In fact, when the Bible uses the word faith, it's translated from a particular word, which is a fun word to say, pistis. And pistis could just as easily be translated along with the word faith. It can be translated as trust or assurance. In fact, the way that the Bible uses it and the weight that word holds is that faith is believing because of evidence, not in spite of evidence. It's not a blind leap. I have faith, I have trust that even though I am here and my wife and my infant son are in Toronto, that my wife is taking care of my son. Why? Because I have reasons to believe that my wife is more than capable. More capable than I am, that's for sure. She's more than capable of taking care of my son Eli. I have faith because of my reasons, because I know Melissa, I know my wife. And I have faith in her. In fact, the Latin word for faith, fides, is where we get the word confidence from. Con, meaning with, and fides, meaning faith, with faith. It's where we get the word fidelity from. This word used to hold the connotation of trusting because you have evidence to trust. Which is why, unlike Richard Dawkins, individuals like Sean McDowell give a much more accurate definition of faith. He says, faith is not belief in spite of evidence, but belief in light of the evidence. That's what we're talking about here. And this isn't a modern idea. You can go back into the annals of Christian history and find individuals, like Augustine in the late 4th, early 5th century saying, but they are much deceived who think that we believe in Christ without any proof concerning Christ. And we can go hundreds of years before Augustine to the 2nd century with Justin Martyr, who says, reason directs those who are truly pious and philosophical to honor and love only what is true. These were individuals who understood what it meant to love God with their mind, and they pointed to faith. They pointed to the biblical concept of faith and what it meant by that.